Hi everybody and welcome back to the farm. Today is a super exciting day because we just got all of our brand new catch pens in and we're going to work on setting those up. But before we do that, let's look at what we've been working with.
So this is the catch pen we've been using. We've had it for several years now, and we've been making do with it. You can get these panels at any big box store. They're about 5 feet tall and they're kind of hollow steel. They do fine for the equines, the horses and the donkeys, but it's just not great for the cattle and bison setup we have. We have finally made it to the point though where we are ready to upgrade to the big stuff.
As you can see on these panels, this is from getting hit one time by a cow. This is from losing pins, so we've got chains all over everything, came with bolts and pins and everything from Tractor Supply. I mean, it's every time you work animals, you have to rebuild the entire thing. So not only just for the ease of working animals, but for the safety. Every single time we work bison or cattle, we both feel like we put our lives at risk. And also, Logan and I never get loud with each other. We get along very well. The only time we ever raise our voices to each other is while we're working animals. We've learned to not take it personally because as soon as it's over, you know, we're back to normal. But trying to work animals that weigh 2,000 pounds in this kind of junk, I mean, realistically, this kind of junk is very difficult. It's very dangerous. And so not only for the ease and the success of working stuff, but for our safety, not just ours, the safety of ourselves and the animals, those other panels are going to make a really big difference. So what we usually do is we bring the animals in from other pastures and they come in through this tiny little gate behind me. Then they come into this one large pen. There's no way to separate, there's no way to pick different animals. They're just in one pen. And with the height of these panels, they can go right over them. So then we have to get in here with animals with horns that are crazy, and we have to sort them around, and we have to get to these panels right here where the animals go down the alleyway. And then instead of having a gate that you can swing shut, it's a matter of picking up these panels, running them across here, and closing the animals in. The second they realize that gate is closing, they turn around and come back. There's no way that Logan and I can hold them in here. Once they're in the alley, that we call it, this is all there is. Held on by lead ropes and small chains. Once they get up here, the trailer is usually sitting right here, and we go in, and again, we're having to pick these up, sling them, and this is where Logan really shows her strength. She has to hold this closed while the animals are getting on the trailer. It's really not efficient, it's really not safe. So here's a good example of the last panel that we tried to hold bison in with. As you can see, it is completely crumpled all up. When they want to go somewhere, they're just gonna go.
But when we medicate the animals, the donkeys and the cows both, they need to go through this chute here. And as you can see, this is a chute to nowhere from nowhere. So usually we have to do, as Randall keeps mentioning, we take apart the panels, we put them back together, all with the chains, the lead ropes, the hay string, whatever it is we can find to kind of mash it up together and make it work. In our latest attempt at rigging this pen together, this catch pen together, we've installed these massive telephone poles. We thought it might help with the structural stability of the pen. Usually the animals can just push right up against them and bust their way through. The posts have helped us some keep them in there, but it really is time for an upgrade. Lola's very interested, as always.
Like we mentioned in the beginning, we just got our entire pen yesterday, delivered from All American Panel, and we're going to work on putting that up. In my mind, for some reason, I thought that was going to take about a day, but now that we're looking at taking down this pen and putting that one up, I'm kind of thinking 3 or 4 days. So this video will be over a few days. Bear with us, but we're going to get this junk down and get that new stuff up. Alright, just as expected, a few hours later, but after a lot of box blading and moving stuff around with the loader, we have a completely clear spot to put the new pin all right here. Of course, as you can see, the bison are nosy as can be, checking out what's going on, but it is leveled out and ready for the new pin. Alright, it's the next day. Yesterday was a beautiful winter Florida day, very sunny. Today it is extremely windy and has turned very cold. It rained all night. Logan and I worked into the night a little bit trying to get a few of these panels up, and we were decently successful, but the problem we're running into is the ground is not completely flat, and so the panels are having a hard time fitting together. As you saw in the video earlier, when All American Panel was unloading all of this, it's very overwhelming to look at everything, but we've got alleyways, we've got bowed gates, we've got all kinds of stuff to go through. Nothing's labeled. That's one thing that if I was gonna change anything about the experience, maybe some things would be labeled or even like a schematic. We're kind of going on a picture that they have on the website. So that's the one thing that I would say I would do a little bit differently, just because when you look at this, if you're not very experienced, it's just a little bit overwhelming. Okay, we are still building the pin. We got it a pretty decent amount, two sides done, and realized we had the panels turned around backwards. So we had to take down everything we have done and redo it. So that was kind of a letdown, a little aggravating. We feel a little bit retarded, but it's just a matter of getting the pins right, which way the gates are gonna face and all that kind of stuff. But I think we've got it figured out now. But that definitely was a major setback. Also today, the wind is 20 and 30 miles an hour with wind gusts of up to 50. And for us in our part of Florida, that is very rare. So we are not used to dealing with that. So that has been a hard thing for us to handle today too, and it kind of made things a little bit more slow going. But we are picking up more panels right now with the loader and taking them over to the pin where Logan is. And we are gonna keep building. But you learn as you go, for sure. Okay, we've got one little pin done. It's only been a day and a half. There's an entire area enclosed. It's a little harder than you would think it is. You think it's just sticking them together, but that's not the case. So we've got a whole ton more to go, obviously. But it keeps raining. Logan's tearing it up. It keeps raining and raining and wind blowing, but there's an actual enclosed pin now. Score one for us.
All right, it is the end of day 2. It's raining and it's getting darker, so we're gonna call it quits. We did get about 2/3 of it done, so we're on track to finish up by tomorrow, which we're very excited about. We are definitely gonna finish it tomorrow because it's gonna be like 29 degrees tomorrow night, and the cold steel, my bare hands, I can't hack it. So we're gonna finish this puppy tomorrow. Well, we've made it to day 3 of our big catch pen build. It is 50 degrees outside and windy. Sun's shining, so that's nice. Randall and I have saved the hardest part for last. We have left the swing gate, the sweep gate, the alleyway, and then the actual chute itself. So it's gonna be probably pretty labor intensive. We're probably gonna have to puzzle through some things, but we are bound and determined to finish it today.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The final 2 pens. 3.5 days, worn out. But here it is. We are on the last 2 pens. I could at least help Logan get the pens, couldn't I? But this is it. We are officially done building this pen. Pen is officially complete. Okay, we have finally finished the entire pen. This was a huge project for sure. If it wasn't for the loader, if it wasn't for Logan's incredible muscles, we would never have got this done. But it's complete now, and this is going to drastically change the way we're able to work our animals, medicate them, treat them, and load them on the trailer. So you will be seeing this pen used in future videos, I can assure you of that. We're gonna go ahead and deworm the bison and all of the Brahmas now that we have this. So it's definitely gonna get its use. But for now, we have a lot of animals to feed and a lot more farm work to do. So we will catch you guys in the next video from myself, from Logan, and all of the critters here on HisWay Farm. May God bless you, and we'll see you next time.